Before Korea had coins, people traded goods directly. This is called barter. A farmer might trade a sack of rice for a new tool. A fisherman could trade his catch for some cloth. This system worked for a long time. People traded what they had for what they needed. It was a simple way of life. But as society grew more complex, barter became difficult. How many fish is a clay pot worth? How much rice equals a pair of shoes? People needed something easier. They needed a standard form of money that everyone could agree on. This need for a universal medium of exchange set the stage for the first Korean currency. The first objects used as money were not round coins. They were items that had value to everyone. Things like grain, cloth, and even special knives were used. In ancient China, knife-shaped money, called knife money, became popular. This idea spread to Korea. Around 2,300 years ago, during the Gojoseon period, people in the northern part of the Korean peninsula started using this knife money. These were called myeongdojeon. They looked like small knives or keys. This was a big step. It was the first time a standardized item was used for trade across the region. It showed that Korea was connected to the wider world. These myeongdojeon were not made in Korea. They were imported from the Yan state in China. But they were used widely in ancient Korean territories. Archaeologists have found large hoards of them buried in the ground. This tells us they were very important. People likely buried them for safekeeping, like a hidden treasure. These knife coins were made of bronze. They had characters on them that told you where they were from. For Koreans, this was their first taste of a monetary system. It was a bridge between simple bartering and the sophisticated coin systems that would come later. The first truly Korean coin was the banjeon. It was a simple iron coin. It was made during the Goryeo dynasty, around the year 996. The coin was modeled after Chinese coins of the time. It was round with a square hole in the middle. This shape was very practical. It allowed people to string coins together, making them easier to carry and count. The name banjeon means half iron, but it was a full coin. These first attempts at a national currency were not always successful. People were used to trading with grain and cloth, and it took time for them to trust these new metal discs. But the banjeon was the beginning of Korea's long and fascinating journey with its own money. The Goryeo dynasty was a time of great change. King Seongjong, a wise ruler, wanted to create a modern state. He saw that a strong economy needed a stable currency. In 996, he ordered the creation of Korea's first official coins. These were the Jeonwon Jongbo. They were cast from iron, a metal that was plentiful in Korea. The design was simple and classic, a round coin with a square hole. The characters Jeonwon Jongbo were written on the face. This meant first original treasure. It was a bold statement. The king was declaring that this was the new standard of wealth for his kingdom. Making coins from iron was a practical choice. Iron was cheaper and more available than bronze or silver. This meant the government could produce a large number of coins. The goal was to replace the old system of using rice and cloth as money. However, the people were not quick to adopt the new currency. For centuries, a bolt of hemp cloth had a known value. A bag of rice could feed a family. These new iron coins felt strange and unfamiliar. People worried that the government could change their value. So, they continued to use the old ways of barter, and the Jeonwon Jongbo coins struggled to circulate widely. Because the people did not fully accept them, the government did not make a huge number of these coins. Today, this makes the Jeonwon Jongbo very rare. Finding one in good condition is a collector's dream. Many of the coins that survived are heavily rusted because they are made of iron. A well-preserved piece, where you can still read the characters clearly, is a true treasure. Its value comes from its historical importance. It represents the very first step in Korea's national monetary history. It is a physical link to a king's ambition to modernize his nation over 1,000 years ago. The Jeonwon Jongbo also had a unique feature on its back. Some coins had a dot or a crescent. Others had the character for Dongguk, which means Eastern country, a name for Korea. This showed that these coins were proudly Korean. They were not just copies of Chinese coins. They were a symbol of Goryeo independence and identity. Collectors search carefully for these different reverse markings. Each variation tells a slightly different story about where and when it was made. These small details can make a coin even more valuable. They are clues to a past that is slowly being rediscovered, one coin at a time. About 100 years after the first iron coins, the Goryeo dynasty tried again. Around the year 1102, King Sukjong introduced a new set of coins. This time they were made of bronze. Bronze was more durable than iron and less likely to rust. It also looked more like the coins from China's powerful Song dynasty, which may have helped people trust them more. One of the most famous coins from this period is the Haedong Tongbo. The name means circulating treasure of the country of the sea, another poetic name for Korea. This coin was part of a major push to finally establish a money-based economy. The Haedong Tongbo coins were beautifully made. They were cast in various sizes and scripts. Some had formal, blocky characters. Others had elegant, flowing cursive characters. This variety is fascinating to collectors. It suggests that many different workshops were making these coins. The government was trying hard to get them into the hands of the people. They even created a special silver coin called the onbyong. It was shaped like the Korean peninsula and was worth a large amount of silver. But it was the small round Haedong Tongbo that was meant for everyday use by ordinary people. Like the iron coins before them, the Haedong Tongbo faced resistance. Old habits die hard. People still preferred to trade with familiar goods. Because of this, the coins never circulated as widely as the king had hoped. The government eventually stopped making them. As a result, many types of Haedong Tongbo are extremely rare today. Certain calligraphic styles are known from only a handful of surviving examples. Finding one of these rare varieties is like finding a lost piece of art. Its value is not just in the metal it's made from, but in its scarcity and its beautiful design. What makes the Haedong Tongbo so special is its story of ambition. It represents a king's dream of a modern, prosperous kingdom. Even though the project was not a complete success, the coins themselves are a testament to that dream. They are small, bronze artifacts that carry a huge weight of history. For a collector, owning a Haedong Tongbo is like holding a piece of Goryeo's soul. It is a reminder that progress is often slow and difficult. The coin's rarity today is a direct result of its struggle to be accepted 1,000 years ago, making it a truly valuable piece of Korean history. After the Goryeo period, Korea entered the Joseon dynasty. For a long time, the country went back to using cloth and grain as money. But in 1678, something changed forever. The government introduced a new coin called the Sangpyeong Tongbo. The name means always even circulating treasure. This name was a promise. It promised that the coin would have a stable and reliable value. This time, the idea worked. The Sangpyeong Tongbo became the most successful coin in Korean history. It was used for over 200 years, right up until the end of the 19th century. The Sangpyeong Tongbo was a simple bronze coin, round with a square hole. Its design was consistent, which helped people trust it. However, there is a secret to these coins that makes them fascinating for collectors. On the back of the coin, there was often a character. This character told you which government office or military camp minted the coin. There were hundreds of different mints all over Korea. Each one had its own unique character or symbol. This means there are thousands of different varieties of the Sangpyeong Tongbo. It's a huge and exciting field for collectors. Most Sangpyeong Tongbo coins are quite common and not very expensive. You can buy one for just a few dollars. But some varieties are incredibly rare. These are the ones that can be worth a fortune. For example, some mints were only open for a very short time. They might have only produced a small batch of coins before they closed. Other rare varieties were seed coins or mother coins. These were the master coins used to make the molds for casting other coins. They were made with extreme care and are much sharper and more beautiful than the regular coins. Finding a mother coin is the ultimate prize for a Sangpyeong Tongbo collector. One of the rarest and most valuable versions is the large 100-mun coin, called the Dangbaek Jeon. It was introduced in 1866 to pay for the war against the French. It was supposed to be worth 100 times a regular Sangpyeong Tongbo, but it did not contain 100 times the metal. This caused massive inflation. Prices for everything skyrocketed. People lost their life savings. The coin was a disaster for the economy and was quickly taken out of circulation. Because it was used for such a short time, the Dangbaek Jeon is very rare today. Its dramatic story of economic collapse makes it one of the most famous and valuable coins in Korean history. As the Joseon dynasty neared its end in the late 19th century, Korea was under pressure. It had to modernize to survive. The old ways were no longer enough. Part of this modernization effort was, reforming the currency. The government wanted to create a new system of money based on silver, kind of like what Western countries used. In 1882, a new series of coins was designed. This was the Daedong series. The name means Great East, which is another name for Korea. These coins were a radical departure from the old Sangpyeong Tongbo. They were meant to show the world that Korea was a modern, independent nation. The Daedong coins were designed in 1, 2, and 3 Jeon denominations. They were supposed to be made of silver. The design was really beautiful. On the front, it featured a dragon, a powerful symbol of the king and the nation. The dragon was surrounded by an inscription that read Daedong and the denomination. On the back, it had the royal plum blossom crest. This was the symbol of the Joseon royal family. The coins were also inscribed with the words struck in the 491st year of the founding of the dynasty, which corresponded to the year 1882. These were not just coins, they were declarations of sovereignty. However, a major problem occurred. Before the coins could be officially issued and put into circulation, there was a political crisis. A group of soldiers, angry about their treatment, started a riot. This event, known as the Emo incident, threw the government into chaos. The new coin-making facility was destroyed. The official minting of the Daedong silver coins was stopped before it ever really began. Only a very small number of trial pieces or patterns had been made. These were test strikes, just to see how the design would look. Because the project was cancelled, these Daedong silver patterns are among the rarest and most valuable of all Korean coins. Only a handful of them are known to exist in the world. They were never used as money. They are relics of a future that never happened. Their value is immense, easily reaching into the hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars at auction. Owning one is like owning a piece of a pivotal moment in Korean history. It represents a bold attempt at reform that was, sadly, cut short. For collectors, the Daedong silver coin is a ghost, a beautiful and haunting reminder of what might have been. In 1897, Korea declared itself an empire. King Gojong became Emperor Gwangmu. This was honestly a bold move to assert Korea's independence from China and Japan. To go along with this new status, the empire needed a new currency. The old moon system was replaced with a new one called Yang and Hwan. In 1901, the first coins of the Korean Empire were struck. These were the first truly modern, machine-made coins in Korean history. They were produced at a new, state-of-the-art mint in Yongsan. The designs were sharp and professional, featuring powerful national symbols. The new coins came in several denominations. There were bronze coins for small values, like the 1 chon and 5 chon. There were nickel coins for the 5 chon, and there were silver coins for larger values, like the half yang, 1 yang, and the impressive 5 yang. The designs were magnificent. The front of the silver coins featured a fearsome dragon, even more detailed than the one on the Daedong patterns. The back showed the denomination surrounded by a wreath of plum blossoms and roses of Sharon, the national flower. These coins were meant to compete on the world stage. They were a message of strength and pride. However, this period of imperial pride was short-lived. Japan's influence over Korea was growing stronger every day. In 1904, Japan took control of Korea's finances. They closed the Korean mint and started issuing their own coins for use in Korea. This meant that the beautiful coins of the Korean Empire were only produced for a few short years. Coins dated 1901, 1902, 1903, and 1904 are all that exist. Because the minting period was so brief, many of these coins are quite scarce, especially in high-quality condition. The rarest and most valuable coins from this era are the gold issues. The Korean Empire planned to issue 5, 10, and 20 Hwan gold coins. These were designed with the same imperial symbols, the dragon and the royal crest. However, very few were ever made. Most were melted down or were never officially released. Today, any surviving example of a Korean Empire gold coin is a legendary rarity. They are almost never seen for sale. When one does appear at a major auction, it commands a price in the millions of dollars. These gold coins are the pinnacle of Korean numismatics, the ultimate symbols of an empire's lost dream. As Japan's control over Korea tightened in the early 1900s, the Korean currency system was forced to change again. The Japanese wanted to align Korea's money with their own yen-based system. Between 1905 and 1910, a new series of coins was designed under Japanese supervision. These coins still carried the name of the Korean Emperor, Gwangmu, and the Korean-era name, Yunghee. However, the designs were changed to look more like Japanese coins. The powerful Korean dragon was replaced with a new, less distinct dragon design, or sometimes just a phoenix. This transitional period produced some of Korea's most fascinating and rare coins. These are often called pattern or trial coins. Before a new coin design is approved for mass production, the mint strikes a few examples to test the dies and the design. These patterns are not meant for circulation. They are internal test pieces. For the new currency system, several different designs were proposed and tested. For example, patterns were made for a new 10-won and 21 gold coin in 1906. These coins featured a phoenix on one side and a dragon on the other. These patterns are exceptionally rare because they were never approved for circulation. They exist in tiny numbers, sometimes with only 1 or 2 examples known to the entire world. The 1906 Yonghee 21 gold pattern is a perfect example. It is a stunningly beautiful coin, struck to the highest quality. But its history is tied to the loss of Korean sovereignty. It represents a currency system that was being designed by a foreign power. For collectors, its rarity is off the charts. A coin like this is valued in the millions of dollars, not just for its gold content, but for its unique place in history as a phantom coin that almost was. Another famous rarity from this time is the 19095 Chon nickel pattern. Several different designs were considered for this coin. One pattern featured a rooster instead of the usual dragon or phoenix. Why a rooster? No one is entirely sure. It might have been a symbolic design that was ultimately rejected. Only a few of these rooster patterns are known to exist. Their mysterious origin and extreme rarity make them highly sought after by advanced collectors. These pattern coins from the 1905 to 1910 period are the hidden gems of Korean numismatics. They tell a quiet but powerful story of a nation at a crossroads, just before its independence was completely lost. After the end of Japanese colonial rule in 1945, Korea was finally free. But the country was in turmoil. It was divided into North and South, and the Korean War from 1950 to 1953 caused immense destruction. During this chaotic period, South Korea struggled to establish a new economy and a new currency. The first coins of the new Republic of Korea were not issued until 1959. This means for the first decade of its existence, from 1949 to 1959, South Korea used only paper money. But, unknown to the public, the government was making plans for coins. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, the South Korean government asked the United States Mint to design and produce some test coins. These were pattern coins, just like the ones from the Joseon and Imperial eras. They were never meant to be used by the public. They were simply trials to see what the new nation's money could look like. These patterns were designed for 1, 5, and 10 won denominations. They featured South Korea's first president, Syngman Rhee, on the front. This was a common practice for new republics, to put their founding leader on their money. The back of the coins featured the denomination and a simple design. These pattern coins were struck in very small numbers at the Philadelphia Mint in the United States. They were dated with years from the Dangun calendar, a Korean system that starts in 2333 BC. So, the coins are dated 4282, 4283, and 4285, which correspond to the years 1949, 1950, and 1952. Because of the Korean War and the economic chaos that followed, these coins were never approved. The plans were scrapped, and the few patterns that were made were put into storage or given to officials. For decades, their existence was little more than a rumor among collectors. Today, these Syngman Rhee pattern coins are the holy grail of modern Korean coin collecting. Only a few complete sets are known to exist. They represent the lost decade of Korean coinage. They are the first coins of the Republic of Korea, even though they were never spent. Their value is astronomical. A single one of these coins can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. A complete set is worth well over $1 million. They are so rare that most collectors will never even see one in person. They are a tangible link to the difficult birth of South Korea, a nation forged in war and determined to build a new future. The history of Korean coins is a story of the Korean people. It is a tale of ambition, struggle, pride, and survival. Each coin, from the ancient knife money to the modern patterns, is a small piece of that epic journey. For collectors, these are not just pieces of metal. They are historical documents. They tell us about the economy, the politics, and the art of their time. A rare coin is a direct connection to a specific moment in the past. Holding a Goryeo Dynasty Haedong Tongbo is like shaking hands with someone who lived 900 years ago. It is a powerful and humbling experience. The value of these coins, especially the ones worth millions, comes from a combination of factors. Rarity is the most important. Coins like the Daedong silver patterns or the Korean Empire gold issues were made in incredibly small numbers. Sometimes only one or two are known to survive. This scarcity creates intense demand among the world's wealthiest collectors. Historical significance is another key factor. A coin that represents a major turning point, like the first Iron Gyeonwon Jungbo or the disastrous Dangbekjeon, carries a story that makes it far more desirable than a common coin. The condition of a coin is also critical. A coin that looks like it was just struck yesterday, with perfect details and shiny surfaces, is worth many times more than one that is worn, damaged, or corroded. This is why collectors use terms like mint state or uncirculated. They are searching for perfection, a coin that has survived for centuries without being touched by human hands. The quest for the perfect coin drives the market and pushes prices higher and higher. It is a hunt for a flawless piece of history, frozen in time. In the end, the passion for collecting Korean coins is about preserving a legacy. As Korea has grown into a global economic powerhouse, its people have become more interested in their own history. Wealthy collectors in Korea and around the world compete to own the most important pieces of their nation's heritage. These coins are seen as national treasures. They are a source of pride and a symbol of the country's long and resilient history. The collector's quest is more than a hobby. It is an act of cultural preservation, ensuring that the stories hidden within these small metal discs will be told for generations to come.